What's up, everybody? This is Battlefield JL97, and after me being like quench of thirst after making the Nintendo Cross DNA partnership, which click anywhere in the video and you'll see that video. I was a little bit thirsty, so I got my cup of water and my plate of pasta to go with the next response box video, which was quite a delay. It was supposed to be like in Sunday or Monday, but you know, life just gets to you sometimes. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be finishing this response blog video, making a new post on Dawn Island to get more questions. And of course, I'm going to have to finish that February gaming pickup video, which I've really been delaying that. Should have been released early this month, but, you know, life just got me, you know. So yeah, without further ado, let's just finish this right here, right now. For the first question, which will be the main question of this video, from Mikhail, if I pronounce your name right. What makes the order lag? And, you know, for people who really want to know what the hell he means by lag, lag meaning like people hating the game, people not really, you know, like the order didn't flare with people, you know. So, like, what makes the order bad, I'm going to interpret as such. For one, is not a game. And I know people make the whole stereotypic comment of like Sony exclusives just being movies and actual interactive video games, but at least with the case with another Sony exclusive like the Uncharted series, they may be intimidating a movie, but at least the movie, which is Uncharted, actually is a video game. You have like more time to control Nathan Drake, go in through the environment, choose whatever gun you have, and explore like a world without like having the game telling you what to do like 90% of the time, which is literally what the order did. Like the first minutes of popping in the order, like after finishing that long update with so many gigabytes, you then are treated to like one of your main characters, you know, the mustache and porn stash guy, basically like suffocating as all hell. And you have to like press like a set of order, which I'm gonna do it right here right now. You got the press the button QTE part. You got the moving the cursor and then pressing the button to correspond part. And then you got the wait a moment and then press QTE sequence art. And that's one of the, like literally most of the game is basically you pressing buttons, moving the left analog stick to press the button, or waiting for the right moment for the game to tell you to press the button. People made fun of Heavy Rain and like freaking Beyond Two Souls, but at least they had funny, well, not funny, but sort of funny, like writing and shit like that from David Cage. Hell, to be honest, I would have loved David Cage to make this damn game, and then I could laugh at him like trying to be serious as all hell with his writing. But with the order, it takes itself so damn serious. And the fact that it really wants to be like this London X Game of Thrones, which, nah, I mean, I don't know, it just really didn't catch on with me. Wasn't interesting. Just didn't have that. And even with like the third-person Gears of War kind of shooting, that of course Uncharted has, it just doesn't, it doesn't have any flair to it. It's standard affair, just like with the whole QTE, which has already been populated by so many damn games, like in the 7th generation of consoles. And that trope certainly still has an end to this very day. Which, I do have the mind right here. I don't hate QTEs as much as some people, but when it comes to games like The Order, where like almost the whole experience that the player has is pressing, moving the left stick to pressing, and then hold, then you press, and then you have like some bits of third-person shooting, I'm sorry, it just lacks. It's like more of a style than substance kind of game. Like really, it just, I mean, to make this of a comparison though, I don't like Killzone Shadowfall. I didn't like Knack at all. But at least Killzone Shadowfall and Knack were video games. They at least allow you to skip the cutscenes to get to the game bits. The Order, you can't even skip the cutscenes at all. You can't even skip them. So your playtime is mostly of the cutscenes. And hell, there's even certain chapters of the game where they're just cutscenes. And then some interaction of QTEs and stuff like that. But still, well, not most, yeah, most of your experience is just watching than actually playing. And you know what? Let me make this even more of a comparison. People flank Metal Gear Solid as a movie franchise, especially how Kojima is really like a film fan and stuff like that. And people flank Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots for being more of a movie than a video game, but at least in Guns of the Patriots, there was a lot of incentive for replay value to get certain stuff, and there was more control that you had over Snake than, let's say, what was it, Geralt, or what the hell his name was, in the Order. And for like a squad-based third-person shooter, right, that has like 3 or 2 computers following you around, there's no co-op, like, online or, like, local. Like, really? I mean, there's just so much stuff. Like, they were just focusing so much on making the game a movie than an actual video game. Not to mention the whole frame rate, resolution kind of crap. Ugh. I didn't really beat the game at all. I was, like, halfway through it, and I was bored as fuck. And I just stopped. And literally, even if I did continue, the ending to the game is basically like recycling this one wolf boss, like during like the beginning or middle acts of the game. The movie. Jeez, I have this kind of crap. And literally, it's like the exact same QTE fight that you had on another wolf, like early in the game. So really, there's not much difference. It's like fighting. It's like trying to have like the Bowser fight, like in Super Mario Brothers. You beat him, and then you beat him again, like at the end, with no new tactics, nothing new whatsoever. It's just so much bullshit. And really, The Order, to me, is one of the worst PS4 exclusives. It's got the looks, it's got something to grasp you with the idea, but the execution and it not being a video game really ticks me the fuck off. And I still am waiting for greatness when it comes to the exclusives. And I'm going to be waiting for next year because Uncharted 4 was delayed to 2016. So yeah, can't wait for the third-party offerings for PS4. So yeah, that was the end for the Order question. Now for the next one from Xavier. Are there any non-Sonic SEGA games you like? Oh yeah, plenty. I got introduced to them from the Dreamcast mostly, but there were some others that were like from the PlayStation and Xbox. One that comes to mind is like Jet Set Radio. Definitely a freaking fun game. I'm still waiting for like a new installment, but knowing how Sega is mainly going to focus on the PC and mobile market, I mean, I'll see another one. Sucks that Wii Jet Set Radio game was canceled, but just is what it is. Valkyria Chronicles, definitely a fun-ass game. And I would have loved to see Valkyria Chronicles, like, what was it, 2 or 3 in a bundle, and release it, like, on PS4 and Xbox One and PC. Well, I figured, like, yeah, 2 and 3 of Valkyria Chronicles to be on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC. Just like how with Square Enix is doing with, like, Type 0 being on PS4 and Xbox One. And speaking of Type 0, it's the release date of it, so enjoy the Final Fantasy 15 demo mostly, because I fuck about Type 0. Be quite honest. So yeah, Jet Set Radio, Valkyria Chronicles. There was another one. Oh yeah, Space Channel 5. Space Channel 5 was a goddamn good rhythm game. Sucks that there wasn't another one. Knights is a damn good one. Just Jesus, so many franchises that Sega just puts in the curve and just focuses on Sonic, and look what happened. Them losing so much money even when they're a third-party publisher. I don't know, it's just sad to think about it. So yeah, the other question coming from Jacob, what's your favorite console and why? You may not like my answer because I can't really pick one. And even if I do pick one, I kind of have this aching, thought in my head. It's like, but there was another system that I really loved as all hell. So, I'm not going to really answer your question fully, but I am going to say my favorite consoles. Home consoles, not like handhelds. The N64, for the many, many first-party games that Nintendo introduced me as a child, definitely will have that in the heart. Super Mario 64, first game I ever played. Even though it hasn't aged well, it still is my heart. So N64, that's one. What was the other one? The SNES. There was like an SNES like during like where I lived and stuff like that. The SNES, definitely a good system. So many classics. Super Mario World, A Link to the Past. Oh god, the Square Enix titles. Final Fantasy IV. Freaking Chrono Trigger. Jeez, that system was... That was when the third parties actually stick with Nintendo before Sony came along with like the disc-based system. God help us. Speaking of Sony, the PlayStation 1, definitely a goddamn good system. The Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Final Fantasy, there was just so much shit from going out of it. Dreamcast, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, Jet Set Radio, Capcom and Sega in the Dreamcast was like a goddamn heaven. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, there's so much shit. N64, the PS1, SNES, the Dreamcast, the PS2, definitely a lot of fond memories. It was like the first system where I got introduced to Final Fantasy, like with Final Fantasy X, Kingdom Hearts. Ooh, so many good memories. Grand Theft Auto, that was definitely a franchise that really became popular during the 5th generation with PS2 in mind. Then the GameCube, definitely a fun-ass system. It may have been the weakest, at least next to the Wii U, when it came to Nintendo consoles, home consoles. But overall, it's definitely still a fun title. A fun system like with Melee, Luigi's Mansion, Super Mario Sunshine, Mario Kart Double Dash. The list can go on. I could make like 25 games in a list for the GameCube. And the Wii, even with like the Wii being like kind of this middle finger to the core gamers and developers who wanted to use more power, I still appreciate the Wii when it came to the motion controls, especially when it came to Nintendo exclusives. And even the third parties, like with Red Steel 2, that's definitely a goddamn good game using the Wii Motion Plus. Super Mario Galaxy 1, Super Mario Galaxy 2, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, even though it was technically a port of a GameCube game, but whatever. Skyward Sword, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, and even Smash Bros. Brawl, despite it being slow as fuck. Still got Snake, and that damn soundtrack is freaking fantastic. So yeah. The Wii, I still appreciate to this very day. And also, the whole lineup of virtual consoles from Nintendo games to non-Nintendo games, like Neo Geo, Sega. Ooh. I'm still waiting for non-Nintendo games to at least come to North America and Europe. There's still, like, non-Nintendo games in the virtual console for Wii U and 3DS, but nowhere in North America or in Europe, which is kind of fucked up. Oh yeah, and the PlayStation 3, it definitely took a long time for it to set itself like in the in the whole console war and stuff like that. But the PS3 it's definitely still going to be used for me in this very day. The Uncharted games, Valkyria Chronicles, Folklore, Metal Gear Solid 4. There was just so much games out of that. And even with the Xbox 360, I was a little bit late with the whole 360. Definitely had that like in late 2010, like in a Christmas present. But I still use that to the very day alongside the PS3. Definitely a lot of good games like Halo 3, Halo ODST, some of the other ones. Oh yeah, Cameo, Elements of Power. There was just a lot. There was like a lot of good first-party games, especially a lot in digital for the Xbox 360. Hey, you know what? I'll even say this, the Wii U, I definitely like the most, especially in this 8th generation of consoles. A lot of fantastic exclusives that Nintendo has, and even if they don't have the big third-party support like with Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed, there's still a lot of good third-party support when it comes to the indies. Mighty Switch Force, definitely, way forward, they definitely know how to support a Nintendo system on the Wii U and 3DS. So yeah. Exclusive lineups for Wii U. New Super Mario Bros. U, definitely the best 2D Mario game next to Super Mario World. Super Mario 3D World, definitely the best 3D Mario game next to the Galaxy games. Can't really choose which one for Galaxy, to be honest. Smash Brothers for Wii U, even though it's not a Wii U exclusive, it's more of a Nintendo exclusive alongside with the 3DS version. Definitely a freaking fun game. Mario Kart 8. So, I'm still using the Wii U a lot to this very day. Well, every day. And PS4, well, it might be there when, Uncharted comes out, or at least more first-party exclusives from Sony. So yeah, when it comes to the home consoles, that's your question, Jacob. Answered. And now for the joke questions. How often does your dawn expand? Well, I am called the Dawn Father, so maybe every day. And now for Sunnell, or whatever. Do you want to sing a ding-a-ling like a cool dancing fool? If it comes with money, maybe. And now for the last question for this response box video from Git. How does Mario shoot fire underwater? I don't fucking know. Talking dog. That's your answer. So yeah, anyhow, that's it for this episode of the response box. Definitely give me more questions on my Facebook group, Dawn Island. When I make a post about it, then you can send your questions there. And if you don't really want to wait for me or don't want to join my group, you can actually like my Facebook, YouTube page, Battlefield Joe 97 or whatever, the YouTube clan, in the description below. You can send me the questions and even suggestions for future videos that I can do, and I most likely will make a video from your suggestions. Anyhow, like, favorite, subscribe. This is Battlefield Joe 97. Catch you guys later. Man, this pasta is damn good.